Preparing for your product launch can make or break the amount of sales you get in pre-orders and during launch week and beyond. My past couple of book launches, I've been able to get over 1,000 pre-orders on each because of how much I've warmed up my audience, gotten them prepared for the launch so that it was no surprise when I put my book out and had lots of people waiting to purchase. It all comes down to how you market your book leading up to your launch, from setting your launch date to warming up your audience to collaborating with others, and so much more. There are many ways you can plan a successful product launch. In this video, I am giving you a sneak peek at some lessons in my new course, The Lifetime Launch Blueprint, which walks you through step by step how to plan and execute a successful product launch for your book or other creative project. You are going to see a few lessons in the beginning of the course, and if it sounds like a good fit for you, I will link all the details about how to get the full course, which comes with social media templates, caption templates, and email templates to help you have the most successful launch ever. I hope you enjoy a sneak peek at this course. It was so much fun to film, professionally filmed and edited and produced, and it looks absolutely amazing. So I hope you enjoy the sneak peek. Welcome to Lesson 1. Let's talk about setting your launch date and timeline so that you can have a smooth and successful launch. When planning a launch, it's important to think about our timeline, how much we have to do, and when we actually want to launch the project. Keeping all of this organized is going to help you have the most successful launch possible because you've given yourself the time to warm your audience up and to make sure that your product, such as your book, your song, your art collection, whatever it may be, is ready to go. Myself and many others have made the mistake of thinking we can launch on a certain date, announcing it, and realizing later on that we are now rushing our project and have had to push back the date. Is that the end of the world? No, but it's better to give ourselves more time than we think we'll need so that you aren't rushing, because launching can be a bit stressful and require more energy from us than usual. When it comes to publishing creative projects, there can be delays with other people you're working with, such as working with an artist on design or illustrations, or working with a publisher or a printer that has shipping delays. Maybe, for example, you're publishing a book and you order a proof copy and end up needing a few more rounds of corrections before it's fully ready. So before you pick a date, write down everything that still needs to be done and approximately how long you think it's going to take you, adding on a little bit of time to ensure you have some buffer and that you aren't rushing. Choosing the perfect launch date involves a blend of strategy and intuition. Think about key dates like holidays or events that resonate with your art. For instance, if you're a poet releasing a collection about love, Valentine's Day could be your ideal launch date. If your product could make a great gift for the holidays, don't release it in December. Give your audience some time to purchase before the busy holiday season. By that time, a lot of people already have their gifts or they've just spent a lot of money on Black Friday, so launching in October might be a better strategy than waiting until November or December. There are also nuances in every industry. For example, traditionally published books are released on Tuesdays. So do you want to stick with that for your book, or would you rather go with a day when perhaps there's less books being published and less noise on social media? Once you decide on a date, after you've written down everything you still need to do and calculated about how long it's going to take you, announce this date to your social media audience in an exciting way. Show your passion for this project. Even if you want to keep parts of it secret, you can still engage people with your excitement and your energy. This can be a simple post with a date on it, a video announcement, or even a countdown series that you post weekly or monthly on your social media to remind people of this upcoming release. And once you pick that date and announce it, try your best to stick to it. Your audience will appreciate your dedication and mark their calendars as well. I've found that picking a date and announcing it to my audience really makes it feel real and helps me be accountable to get everything done and launched on that date. So your assignment for this lesson is to create a launch calendar, plugging in every task you need to do and allowing yourself extra time to complete each one. Then select a date for your upcoming launch, considering its theme and any relevant events or holidays. Then share your chosen date with your community for an extra boost of accountability. Welcome to Lesson 2. Let's talk about warming up your social media audience. Now that you've selected your date and shared it with your audience, it's time to continue warming up your audience in this pre-launch phase. The pre-launch phase is the best way to ensure people are ready to buy on launch day or afterward. The content that you share in this time frame can really have an impact on your overall sales when your project is ready. There are a lot of different ways that we can do this with the help of social media, but the key is this. Your messaging, excitement, and passion that comes through for your project are really important elements to a successful launch. But before we do that, there's an important question to ask. What if you don't have an audience quite yet? This is even more reason why you should allow yourself to have a longer pre-launch period to build your audience. The first step is, of course, setting up your social media presence if you haven't yet. Your bio should say exactly what you do in a way that speaks to your audience. Bios don't just list things about us, but speak to our audience so they know we are the right person to follow. Your bio should have your mission. For example, mine is writing books to help people feel less alone and help others on their self-love journey. That's my goal with my books. What's your goal as a creative? The next step is getting to know your target audience. What type of person listens to the music or art you create, or the books you write? What are their interests, passions, or hobbies, and what posts would resonate with them? Building your audience before you have a product to sell is about relating to your audience, creating engaging, fun, or valuable posts that are likely to be shared. So a romance author might share roundups of their favorite romance books and tag those authors to potentially gain exposure to a wider audience. A musician could do the same, sharing weekly new songs or posting snippets of lyrics they've written recently. An artist could share behind the scenes of art pieces they're working on or what inspires them to create. Also, relatable content will help you grow your audience because your audience will share that post with friends. Do you have a funny opinion about something your audience would resonate with? Or do you have a relatable struggle or experience that your audience would relate to? The other piece of building an audience is engagement, connecting with others in your industry as well as your target customers. Social media should be social, so follow others whose content you enjoy. If an avid reader is talking about books in your genre a lot, follow them and share your thoughts on the books they're talking about and get your name out there. If you're a musician, follow other musicians and show your support. This isn't the time to be self-promotional. It's time to be a part of a community and support others. Being a part of a community on social media is so helpful. It feels good to be a part of something, and some people will support you back, helping you grow your own community too. This takes time, so don't expect a huge audience quickly, but persistence and consistency in this pre-launch period will be so helpful. So let's move to when you do have an audience, no matter how big or small. When it comes to marketing anything on social media, our audience wants to know what is in it for them. And when it's a creative product that people love and want, it's not always a need, which can lead to it being a bit of a harder sell. So that's why our messaging is so important and why having a longer pre-launch period of talking about the project can really help people learn over time why this product will matter to them and why they need it. When I released my first book, I had no launch period, even though I had a substantial audience on one platform at the time. But I didn't talk about my book at all beforehand because I was really nervous about self-promotion at the time, and I really didn't understand the importance of warming my audience up, getting them familiar with what I was working on, and when I launched it, I was met with only a few sales and was really disappointed with the numbers. A couple years later, I launched my second book and had about a 6-month runway where I announced the launch date, the title, what the book was about, the impact it was going to make, what people were going to take away from it, and had a much more successful launch period for that book, which went on to become my top-selling book that I've ever had. And I know it's because of the work that I put into the launch period. Now, do you need a 6-month launch? No, not necessarily. Some of you might even be thinking longer. You might be planning a launch for a year away, or you might be looking to launch in the next month or two. The closer you are, the more often you should be talking about it. The farther away you are from your launch, the more space you have to show what you're working on. Share the behind the scenes glimpses, allude to the new project without giving away all the details when you're that far out. But you can reveal sneak peeks of your creative process, tell stories about why you're creating this, what the impact is going to be, and why you're releasing it now as opposed to another time. You should be asking the question, why does my audience need it now too? You can also engage your audience by asking questions as you go to ensure you're on the right track with what your audience wants to hear. We should always use our own creative intuition, but having your target audience right in front of you on social media is a great way to do some market research and make sure that the timing of your release and everything from the price point to the project itself are a good fit for what your audience is looking for. So you can do polls or ask questions in your posts as you go if you are at a place where your product isn't completed yet. For the assignment in this lesson, create your product messaging before you start talking about it. Write down exactly why you've created this product and how it will benefit your audience. Why would they want this? What will it do for them? This can feel tricky for artistic products like a fiction book or a song, but your messaging during your launch is everything. How you talk about your product and the outcome for your audience is what they care about and what makes people buy. So spend time brainstorming this. This is not something that you want to skip. Then kick off your launch period by posting 2 to 3 times this week on social media about this product. You could reveal more beyond just the launch date. So you could announce the title of the project and what it is. You could film yourself working on the project and post a short video or time lapse of your progress to give a sneak peek to your audience. And one of your posts this week should also be a storytelling post where you share the story behind how you got into your field and your passion behind it, or why you love what you do, or how you got inspired to work on this project in particular. Take a few moments to write down a few different posts that you're going to do this week and make sure you set aside time to actually make them, whether you need to film or take pictures or write captions. And I will see you in the next lesson where we will be setting goals for your launch. All right, if you want to get your hands on the Lifetime Launch Blueprint, the entire course with all of those templates that I mentioned in the beginning, you can head to the description now to check it out and learn more. I am wishing you the utmost success with your upcoming launch. With all of these tools in your pocket, you're going to have an amazing launch and your audience will be ready to purchase. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.